Hello, hi everyone, viewers around the world. I greet you all. I hope you guys are doing great, uh, wonderful, and blessed. Yes, it is Garang Luald, as you all know. I have been interacting with you, all of you, through my videos, my podcasts, and discussing various topic and subject. And I believe you guys have been inspired, educated, motivated about those topic, those videos, because I believe they contain a lot of information and a lot of ideas. Yes, to all of you, my followers, my fans, my friends, and family, thank you for your feedback, your support, your encouragement, so that I can continue to do this, because we are in a journey of changing the world, making the world a better place. That's what we're doing. So keep your support, and God will continue to bless you and keep you safe. Today we will be discussing an entirely different topic, but it is highly relevant in our life. I'm sure many of you are going to like it. And yeah, so it is just a matter of time. If you're really keen and eager to listen to it and watch it, yeah, you will learn a great deal of information, of ideas, of advice, of counsel. Yes, and that is the purpose. Okay, we are talking about family, love, and marriage relationship planning process. Okay, again, the topic is family, love, relationship, family, love, marriage, relationship planning process. How can people start a family, get into a relationship, or get married? How can you find the love of your life? By the way, this is these are my own opinion based on observation, experience, and a little bit of research. So I do not recommend that. It's just I am advising, and I am giving my opinion and my idea based on what I have observed, I have experienced, and what I have read. And then it is up to you, to decide what you're going to do after that. It is beneficial. You take the advice and take the recommendation and put it into practice in your life. If it is not relevant or does not really align with your beliefs, your principle, then there are a variety of resources that you could turn to. Okay, let's dive in with any further ado. So introduction is family and marriage is a social institution, as we all know, and a contract between two consenting adults who love each other and wanted to stay together, officially or unofficially, to get married and, for a purpose, an objective. So we all know, every individual in the world come from a family. We are all born into families, and that's how the family started. People get married or stay together and then produce kids. That's the family started. Yeah. All right. Just like any other institution or an organization in society, like a business, like a church, like a government, any other organization that institution that you think of, that's what a family is an organization, social organization, a social contract between two people, a man and a woman, a husband and wife, who are get married or staying together just for a purpose, and we'll find out what that purpose is later. All right, so what is family planning or family and marriage planning then? So is family planning is essential for the marriage to succeed and prosper in every community and society. So we learn about the family and the marriage. So why do we put planning into it? It is because everything has to be planned and be prepared for, and in order to succeed and to prosper, and that is basically what is family planning is. However, given the differences and the diversity in social, cultural, and legal practices around the world in various countries, families and marital relationships are often started, anyhow, haphazardly and casually, without any proper planning or preparation. Why is that? We're going to see later on. As a result, because families often are planned, are started, or people get married or stay together without any planning, this lead to many problems, many challenges, and these challenges include separation, divorce, infertility, domestic violence, unemployment, poverty, family dysfunction, community disintegration, and so forth. So there are so many problems that arise from families and marriages relationship that are started without any preparation or planning, and those type of relationships are many. Okay, this family social problem can eventually lead to destruction of a country's social fabric and cohesion that result in severe and poor socio-economic condition that will take many years, to be solved or to, and to recover from. Therefore, family planning is very important, is very essential to establish a strong family and social foundation based on good, positive values, beliefs, principles, norms, rules that can be followed and adhered to. This is can be individually, collectively. It can be at a level of individual, you and I. It's relevant for us to educate ourselves, no matter the situation we find ourselves in. We could start where we are, and from that, begin to correct whatever is wrong and put into practice. And it can be at collective level, that is the level of society, community, and the government as well, and we will see later on. So this include the way people get married, the purpose and the objective of marriage, the right and appropriate age of marriage, the number of children people could have depending on the financial situation and circumstances of individual. Okay, family planning also refers to the practice of controlling the number and spacing of children in a family through the use of contraception or other methods to prevent unwanted pregnancy. So, family planning or family and marriage relationship planning, it's include also the controlling of the number of children. That's mean sometimes there are societies where people do not want many kids. So there is a way people can go about it. You could go and see your family doctor. You could go and see counseling service. You could read many books and educate yourself how you could actually, control the number of children that you wanted to have. So this is a part of family planning in order to avoid financial problem, physical problem, and many more. It allows individual and couples to make informed decision about when and how children and how many children they wanted to have, taking into account their health, financial situation, and personal circumstances. I think it's getting hot here. I'm just gonna turn. All right. So, oh my God. So, as we said, family planning allows people or the couple to take a very important decision on how many children they're going to have, depending on many factors. That is, their health, financial situation, and personal circumstances. Okay, it's also include being educated or being counseled on reproductive health and access to healthcare services and information on contraceptive method. This is highly relevant to women because in many parts of the world, many women suffer terribly from the lack of education and awareness of how to take care of their health, including contraception. So it's include also having adequate resources, reaching a certain age of responsibility and readiness to raise children, and having complete education and meeting the right person. So family and marriage planning is a topic that covers a range of issues and factors, and we're going to learn later on. Okay, it's also include preparation of starting a family and getting married and having children. That is in brief. It's include principles, learning about the principle, the norms, and the rules and regulations that are pertaining to the marriage process and procedures, including meeting your love partner and choosing, your wife or husband. I think I have repeated myself there, but I think you get the point. So, for example, in some countries, the marriage process can be through dating, where the couple get to know and understand each other very well through a series of meeting and discussion. and a long conversation. I think that is not new, but it's just we all know, many countries, how people get married. You get to know your partner through dating, by dating each other, discussing a very important and a range of topic and issues before finally starting a family. You know, in other countries, it is totally different, and we're going to learn later on. For example, in other countries, the marriage process is arranged by other people, including the family, relatives, you know, and other responsible adults. In brief, the marriage process, is entirely different from country to another, you know, and each of these marriage process have advantage and disadvantage. And we're going to learn later on what are the disadvantage and the advantage of each type of marriage process. So family planning also can include the dowry procedures, which is the bride price, or that is the money paid often to the bride group, to the bride family, or the bride herself. So the dowry is a price or the money or a gift given to the bride or her family. So learning about the concept of dowry makes it a lot easier for many people who practice the concept of dowry. Required to be paid, for example, to whom it is paid and how much. Sometimes it can be difficult and a complicated process, but when it is made easier, it can make it easier for a lot of people, in those countries where it is practiced. Because we're going to learn later on that dowry, it is only practiced in some part of the world, not all countries, practice dowry. So preparing and planning this process beforehand, can make it a healthy and positive and prosperous family and community and society. Planning and arranging and preparing, about through this process, by learning how people go about the dowry process, can make it a lot easier and pave the way to a healthy, positive, and prosperous family and community and society. Okay. Family planning also can include the nature of relationship after marriage, including arrangement and planning for divorce, such as infertility, that is, inability to produce kids, separation, divorce, and domestic violence. After marriage or getting married, or after starting a family, it is not always easy, but there can be some problem and issues as well. This include infertility, that is inability to produce kids, is either for a man or a woman. Some other problem can lead to family separation, divorce, and domestic violence. We're going to see later why all these things happen. For example, in advanced countries and societies, cultures, these family affairs and circumstances are prearranged and predetermined through the rule of law, either through the common law, civil law, or customary law. In some countries or societies and cultures, these problems are being sorted out very methodically, and appropriately. But in some countries, it can be challenging and extremely difficult, to address this family situation because of cultural and social and legal differences, which can often lead into community disagreement, conflicts, and much more, which can be hard, sometimes can be hard to be resolved. Why? Because if they have social norms and legal procedures, it can be easier for this problem to be solved. Family planning also can be extended to incorporate the type of marriage or relationship marriage that people could have. For instance, in recent years, there appear to be different types of marriage relationship that people could establish, including open relationship where husband or wife could have multiple partners. This can happen formally or informally. The formal marriage relationship is where a man can have multiple wives, which is polygamy. This is widespread in the world, particularly in Africa and Asia. There is another marriage relationship that where women can have multiple husbands. This is referred to as polyandrous, which is quite rare, but is becoming popular in the world today for some reason. We live in a very different world, so there's so much freedom going on. So women can have freedom to have multiple husbands. I'm just stating the facts, and you guys, it is up to you to go and search and find out, about those things and see yourself where you stand, whether you agree or you disagree with this, or what is going on. You understand? So it is my duty is just to inform, to educate, and I'll let you guys decide. So the informal marital relation is where either man or woman has multiple partners in the relationship with or without the knowledge of their partner, but cannot do anything about it in the relationship for reason unknown only to the people involved in the type of relationship. Okay, I'm talking from my experience, my observation. Like I said, this is informal relationship where, men or women can have multiple partners without knowing, knowledge. This is basically is just cheating, but sometimes it has become acceptable, So I thought I will put it there. Whether you have experienced it, please, comment, or give me some feedback, and so I can know whether what I have said here is correct or not. But I believe there is something that this is called open relationship. So this can be risky and dangerous type of relationship because it can easily escalate into tension and violence anytime disagreement or satisfaction arise among multiple partners. Because obviously, when one partner cheat, that's the beginning of tension and beginning of problem, because the notion is that two partners, trust each other, in the relationship. But the moment, mistrust started, that's when the time the problem begin. So this type of relationship, even though it has existed, it can be dangerous and risky, because obviously it's just a matter of time before it can a disagreement can start. Therefore, it is better for people or the community to decide among themselves as to what type of marriage relationship is permissible and the number of partners allowed in the marriage relationship through cultural norms, social laws that can be followed and adhered to by the community. So having said that, what is the the suitable course of action. It is, for people to decide what type of relationship is permitted, and the number of partners that are allowed, through community and the society. When it is everyone agreed on that, then there will not be any problem. But if it's practiced without being agreed upon, then it can be a challenge. It can be a problem. So the objective of this family and marriage relationship planning is to address by helping, to address by helping people plan their marriage and family properly and avoid situation of disagreement and conflict, which has placed many societies and countries in dire and devastating socio-economic situation. Okay, this can be achieved through clearly defined cultural norms, social rules, and regulations that can be followed and adhered to by the community and the society in a specific place and location. Wow, so that is the objective and the purpose of family and marriage relationship planning, is to help us, plan our family relationship properly, through cultural norms, social rules, and practices that are agreed upon by the society or the community in every country, in every culture, in every, community. And so people will know, when they are beginning to get married or start a family, they have a certain rules, certain tradition or custom that they can follow, so they can marry, and marriage relationship can thrive and succeed. Okay, the marriage process. Okay, oh my God, this is a very huge topic. I think we're gonna have, okay, the marriage process. People typically get married by first finding a partner with whom they want to spend the rest of their lives with, then propose and be proposed to. So the way people married around the world, you find a wife, you find a person that you love, or you wanted to get into a relationship with, then you get along, and then if they agree, you guys can stay together, or legally married, socially staying together. Some people can organize a wedding, a big celebration traditionally, or through religious institution, or through a courthouse, or through where people register their marriage. Some people can have a big wedding ceremony. Some people can have a small, but the most important thing is to find the partner that you are in love with, and you're good to go. Usually those who organize wedding ceremony, the couple exchange, the rings or the vows, and then they're legally married, by, through a religious leader, usually a minister of religion, or a marriage registrar, and they introduce the marriage certificate. Or traditionally, some people marry through traditional, where the family of the couples are present, and everyone is agree, okay, we are here to witness them, the marriage of such and such. So that's basically the marriage process in most of the countries, in most of the societies. So deciding to get married is and have a life partner is a well-defined and specified in terms of social, cultural norms and rules and religious. For example, Getting married allows people to know and understand the challenges and obstacles that come with such a milestone in a person's life. So, if family planning is to introduce people to how people get married, that is the marriage process. So, when people learn about the marriage process in a particular society or community or country, it will allow them to prepare ahead, and understand the challenges and problems that are associated with marriage and the responsibility that come with it, you know, because marriage or starting a family is a big decision in personal life. For example, people must understand the physical, financial, emotional responsibility that are involved, you know, in order to produce a healthy, positive family relationship. If you are not ready and willing to take on the responsibilities of starting a family or getting married and the ability to overcome the challenges, then it will eventually fail. So planning ahead is very important, to make you ready and prepare for such a time, you know. So that is, to learn more about the marriage responsibilities and challenges. This include waiting until a certain age, before you get married or start a family, including financially, physically, and emotionally. It is necessary to allow the person, for example, to complete school or education and accumulate enough finances, for the wedding events and the family expenses. So that's why family planning and marriage planning is very important to allow the person to establish themselves, in terms of having a stable career and having an employment with a permanent source of income. So the reason we're talking about the family and marriage planning, it is, not to get ourselves into the problem or the challenges that are associated with marriage that are not planned. So it is better to, when we're thinking about planning or starting a family or getting married, we should be ready physically in terms of age, completed education and having enough money or employment, in brief, we just wanted to establish ourselves, not to get rushed into it. In contrast, for example, now people get married or people start a family without planning and preparation, as we've said before, which end up in failure. We don't want to get ourselves into that situation. So this negatively impact not only the family but the entire community and society in terms of social and economic instability. So we said, as a person, you are a part of a community or a family, you are a part of community, and the community is a part of society, and a society is a part of a country, and so forth. So what impact an individual can impact a family and can impact a community, and it can go. So for example, in some societies where marriage are arranged by other people than the couple themselves, high percentage of family relationships end up in failure, often due to misunderstanding between the couple because they did not have an opinion on whom they were marrying. So there is an arranged marriage where the community, where people get married through arrange, a high percentage end up in failure because people did not have time to understand each other. And as a result, the marriage fails. However, on the other hand, that does not mean most marriages or family that are started, through planned, where people have had all the arrangement in terms of financial, physical, emotional preparation and having success. It's just, or where the couple have met through dating, of taking time to discuss their disadvantage and advantage of starting a family and getting married, end up in success. No, it doesn't mean that way. We just wanted to point out that actually planning a family and marriage relationship is very essential for the successful marriage and family. Okay, now we go into another very important topic of how people get married. So dating, we've said before, most of the people, you find a partner, you fall in love, and you decide to get married through a wedding ceremony or any other means. So dating is one of the means that people get to know each other, before they get married or start a family. So dating is a time the couple take to get to know each other well before they are ready to get married or start a family. For example, people must discuss very important topics such as finances, family, career, goals, personal values, and beliefs. So yes, it's also important that the people find out if they have some shared interests, value, and life goals. During this time, people get to know each other very intimately, so when they get married and eventually start a family, there won't be any problem. So couple must find out if they are physically, emotionally mature, and prepare for the challenges and the responsibility comes with starting a family and getting married. During this time also, it's important that people can receive some help and support from a guidance and trusted friend or family members, even professional, in order to have a successful marriage and family. Therefore, the decision to get married, it is absolutely depending on the couple who are wanted to start a family. This requires, the couple have an honest and open conversation about their expectation, concern before getting into long-term commitment and getting married. So during this time, it is important that the couple take time, to get to know each other, to discuss some important topic. It is important also that people get to introduce each other's family and obtain their opinion. Even if they do not agree about the relationship, it is important that, to get the reason behind the rejection, because it can be an invaluable feedback, that can help the couple. It is recommended also that the couple or the people who are intended to get married through dating, to take time. It can be 1 year, even more, because it is very important. Rushing, it is never always, a good sign. Of course, there are some quick marriages where the couple do not take time to know each other and the important and the significance of marriage relationship. For example, this include arranged marriage by parents, family, relative, community, where the couple have no opinion of who they are marrying. The opposite to dating, it is arranged marriage, like we discussed before. Another example, it is first sight, marriage at first sight. In today's society, there are so many ways that actually people can start a family or get married. Just like we have fast food in McDonald's, in KFC, and all the fast food outlets, we also have, fast marriages, fast relationship. Like in first sight, you get into, to know your partner just the moment you meet them, and then wow, that's it. You get, maybe in 1 month or a couple of months or 3 months, you are getting married. It can work, but trust me, it is not always the good sign. There is another also, that is an online dating, you know, through commercial dating. That is where the marriage relationship are commercially arranged by professional or relationship expert who want to help singles people, find a partner. So this is a quick fixes for relationship and family. But uh, dating through this process, time is usually limited and people do not have enough time to meet and discuss the cons and pros and various aspects of the marriage and family relationship. Uh, this include the purpose, the objective of marriage, producing, raising children, financial and unexpected situation. So you will never have time to discuss all these things through dating online or commercial dating or married at first sight. It can be helpful to some people, but if you really want a successful and prosperous family and marriage relationship, you need to take time to. All right, we talked about dowry before, so we're going to discuss more details about the dowry. Dowry, as discussed, is a traditional practice where the family of the groom gives money, property, or any other material to the bride or her family at the time of marriage. It's meant to help the newly married couple establish their household and can vary greatly in value and form, depending on the cultural tradition of the country where it is practiced. Okay, dowry is not allowed in every country and is often controversial issue due to concern of gender inequality, financial pressure on families, and the exploitation of women. So, in some countries, rules and laws have been put in practice to prohibit and regulate dowry practices. The specific of dowry can vary widely from one culture to another, ranging from cash, jewelry, clothing, household item, even real estate. So the value of dowry can also differ greatly, with some being relatively modest, while others can be quite expensive and extravagant. So it is important to understand the cultural context and legal implication of dowry in different countries before forming an opinion on practice. So the dowry concept it is acceptable or not, whether it's acceptable or not is entirely dependent on the country and the culture. So dowry, it is not practiced everywhere, but only on a specific community and country and culture. So the idea of offering something to the bride or her family is something many people accept while others reject. So the people who accept this practice or practice this this tradition, the people who reject the idea of dowry perceive the payment to be like a trade and a material transaction where the family takes something while the other family gets something in exchange. It is viewed as a slave trade where the people are traded like commodities and goods in the marketplace. Of course, I think it is very extreme idea, but I think there is a view like that. Okay. On the other hand, people who have practiced this concept and practice for many years, it is an honorary and generous gesture from the groom's family given to the bride family for the hard work and dedication it took them to raise the girl and the woman. So dowries are perceived as social and cultural bond that binds the two families together, where the practice often goes both in different ways, where the two families exchange dowries to each other. So where the community or the culture or the country where the dowries is practiced, is viewed as an honorary and generous gesture from the groom's family to the bride, for the hard work and dedication it took them to raise the girl. Basically, oftentimes it is viewed as some social and cultural practice that bind and build the trust and bond between two families, and bring the two families together. In other countries, the bride family are the one that are responsible for the payment of the dowry, to the groom's family. I don't know. These are only opinions and ideas, and I suggest you go and look out, for this concept. But I believe they exist. Therefore, the dowry varies from people who believe it is the right thing to do and those who don't understand the value and the importance of its practice, claiming that only expenses and the groom should be concerned about are the wedding costs, particularly in the Western cultures. Some people believe that dowry, it is just, an additional cost to the wedding expensive and so much more. So they perceive as a burden, dowry as a burden, to the groom and his family. This is especially in the Western cultures. So the issue, however, it is not whether the dowry or not. The focus here is the family planning. So, for example, getting married as many wives as they, some people get as many wives as they can and produce as many children as they want, without adequate resources to support the family. Okay, so some people who, they can get married to as many wives and produce as many kids as they want, as long as they can afford the dowry. But, what happened afterward, they do not pay attention to it. Yes, people are willing to work hard to pay the dowry required, and failing to do so could be a problem which can negatively impact the family and the community and the society. So a lot of people pay much emphasis into the dowry and the payment of the dowry, but whether the person is going to look after the family or the kids is not really an issue. So determining and setting the minimum amount of dowry price in the country is essential, where people cannot afford to get rid of the practice and to whom it is paid and who pays are critical factors for successful marriage and family planning process. So there is an issue here, like we said, all these problems, it can affect the family and community and the society at large. So we are just pointing out, the issue and the problem, but to be addressed, it is not up to me, it is not up to you, it is up to the community, the society to address. So here, dowry price, it can be an issue. Sometimes even, for example, setting a minimum price of dowry and to whom it is paid, whether to bride or to her family, it is very critical factors for a successful marriage and family planning process. This involved this can involve the state or the country or the government. It will be beneficial in addressing this issue and liberating people from social and economic captivity caused by cultural practice and norms that add to the misery and devastation of people's lives rather than subtract. As we've stated earlier, that dowry really, it is not practiced worldwide. It's only in a specific culture, community, and society. So where in the society and culture where it is practiced, it is even an issue, where the focus only is on the dowry and the price. Sometimes, it can be expensive to a large extent, that it can be economic problem to the family, to the community. So that's it's not an individual problem, that is a community, society, and even the country at large. Okay, I think that was regard to dowry. Now we turn into the purpose, the objective of family and marriage relationship. Why do people get married? For what? There is a purpose why people get married, and we're going to discuss. So the purpose and the objective of getting married and starting a family is deeply personal and can be different from individual to another. So there's some studies that there's many reasons people start relationship, and this include the following. Some people get married because they need physical, financial, and emotional support. They wanted to support each other financially, physically, and emotionally. Some people get married to start a family, with usually an opposite sex, and to produce children from that relationship. Other people get married due to religious and cultural practices. Some other people, they have to get married, because religion or culture demand such thing. Okay. Other families, compel their young women and men to get married by force, like in arranged marriage. Some other cultures and communities and societies, can force even the young men and women, to get married. Some people can say, "You, my son, my girl, if you don't get married, I'm no longer your parent. I'll kick you out of the house." There is some parent like that, which is absolutely wrong. People cannot be forced to get married. It is against the law, but where there is in societies where the social life or marriage life, it is not regulated. People can do whatever they want, and that is absolutely wrong. And that's why we are discussing about the family and relationship planning. So, for example, people could be expelled or outcast from their family if they do not follow this tradition and custom, in order to get married. And other societies and communities, staying unmarried or marrying too late, not according to the family tradition, is considered rebellion and a violation of family and community rules and norms, and cannot be tolerated. So as I said, in some societies or communities, staying unmarried or marrying too late, or not according to the family tradition, it is considered a rebellion and a violation, that cannot be accepted, which is wrong. Marriage is a personal decision. It should not be up to the family and community relative. But that's the reason we are discussing about family relationship and marriage. Some people consider it as a shame and a taboo that must be avoided or resolved very quickly to avoid embarrassment. So people think that actually if you married when you are 45, or when you are, I don't know, so a little bit mature, older than usual, they think it is a taboo, and you will not find a bride if you are a man, or if you are a woman, you will not find a groom if you are marrying too late, But, that is not really supposed not to be an issue. In the other hand, other people get married for financial, emotional, and social support, as we suggested, and to raise children, especially in a modern family. For example, life can be challenging if person is staying alone. So having a partner to share life with and overcome challenges, it is better. So that's another reason people get married, so they can have company. So in terms of family and marriage planning, it is very helpful, for the couple to define and state their purpose and objective of marriage and family relation before getting married. It is advisable and recommended for a couple who wanted to get married. To discuss why are we getting married, we discuss a range of reasons why people get married, but it is better for people who want to get married to discuss, so they cannot be surprised later on. So it is critically important that people know and understand what to expect when coming together, and avoid problem and challenges that can arise later on due to misunderstanding, the nature of marriage relation. People can, look, why are we having kids? We didn't discuss this. Why are you so, depending on me financially? We didn't discuss this. Why are you not working? Why are you doing this? And we didn't discuss this. So it is always better for people to for people to discuss this one, before. Yeah. So discuss the reason and the objective of getting marriage. All right. I think we have a very, very long topic to cover, but we are almost there. I think, okay, the right age of love and marital relationship. What is the right age of love and marital relationship? So the right and the appropriate age of marriage, can vary from individual based on their circumstances, maturity level, and readiness for marriage. Okay. However, it is important to consider such factors such as financial stability, emotional maturity, and readiness to make a life commitment before deciding to get married. People get married on a various age, but the most important thing is to consider financial stability, emotional maturity, and being ready and for responsibility of marriage and starting a family. Some people choose to marry early, while others can wait until later, till they get older. As we discussed before, it can be a problem. For example, the right and appropriate age of marriage is when a person reaches the age of responsibility and accountability. It is always advisable and recommended that people get married when they are responsible, when they find themselves responsible and accountable, to get into that relationship and to be able to handle the challenges and the problem that comes with that, you know, that milestone. This means the person is ready to get married when they are ready financially, physically, emotionally to take appropriate step towards settling down with their partner. Yes, that's its common sense, and I think it is understandable. Marriage is a lifelong commitment that requires trust, loyalty to each other for a successful family and marital relationship. This is very important because evidence shows that most marriages fail due to lack of family planning in terms of marrying the right person at the right age at the right time. Many married and family relationship fail because people fail to plan ahead in terms of marrying the right person. Sometimes, the person that you are going to marry, it may not be the right person. That's why it is important to understand the person first, to take time to understand the person, their values, their likes and dislike, and much more. And the right age as well, whether the person is at the right age. The person can be immature, it can be a child, it can, which is not acceptable. It can be over mature. So it can be the wrong timing as well that you're marrying. So it is very important always to understand, the relationship. For instance, some societies and community culture, less consideration is given to the right age of marriage, and consequently, many marriages end in utter failure and disappointment. So, in some cultures and communities, people do not pay attention to the right and appropriate age of marriage, and as a result, many relationships fail and end in disappointment. Based on evidence which is quite prevalent around the world, marrying below the age of 18 is never acceptable and appropriate, because worldwide, either to a woman or a man, because the person is still a child and cannot bear children nor handle responsibility of marriage. So we all know, even though there's some cultures, some communities who still practice child marriage, but it is never acceptable or legal to marry before the age of 18 or 21, because the person is still a child and cannot bear children nor handle responsible marriage. So, specifying and determining the appropriate age of marriage is very critical in every society and community to avoid negative consequences that are associated with child marriage in the world. We all, see on TV, the wrong child marriage practices that happen around the world. Therefore, it is recommended that people get married when they are ready and stable physically, financially, and emotionally. This means individuals should have completed school, college, university, if possible, and have a stable source of income in the form of financial investment or talent, and have accumulated sufficient finances for marriage, wedding, family, and raising children. On the other hand, we understand some mistake can happen, including unplanned pregnancy, especially when boyfriend, girlfriend produce children without attention, without planning, So if something happened like that, the family, it can also be a part of family planning to avoid unnecessary such event, unexpected pregnancy, early childbirth, or abortion. So it is always to be careful, and it can be a part of family planning to avoid unnecessary events such as unexpected pregnancy, early childbirth, or abortion. So if this happens and it is a mistake, the couple or the family can negotiate and resolve the issue peacefully through mutual understanding. If an unexpected pregnancy happen without planning, people can always resort to peaceful negotiation, and the issue can be addressed through mutual understanding, between the couple, between the family and friend, and even a professional expert. Uh, for example, factors can be considered including whether the age is appropriate, whether the people or the couple who are involved are physically, emotionally, financially are ready for marriage and to start a family or to raise children. All this can be, this question can be answered. Do the couple love each other? And was it just an accident? Are the couple willing to take the pregnancy and the child? All these factors and many more can be considered when some unplanned pregnancy and mistakes happen. Of course, there are different rules and procedures of handling and resolving this situation in different societies and communities and culture. However, above all, it must be done in a way that is appropriate, peaceful, acceptable, and civil, that does not lead to conflict, violence, as has demonstrated by many people in many parts of the world. Okay, I think I will stop here because we have a lot of ground to cover. So we have more topic to discuss. This include children in love and marital relationship, infertility in love and marital relationship, family separation, divorce, and remarriage process in the world, monogamy, polygamy, and polyandry marital relationship in the world, the role of the government and the state in the marital relationship, family and marital relationship, raising children in the family and marital relationship, couples' duty and responsibility in love and marital relationship, peace, happiness in love and marital relationship, sexual intimacy in love and marital relationship, while family leisure and fun activities and interests, family religious practices and belief system, and then the conclusion. And we shall discuss part 2 in next time. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you.